One of the most beautiful and helpful creatures of our planet has its very own fun and interesting activities. We're talking about raising and tagging monarch butterflies. People do this so that they can keep track of where the butterflies are going. People can recapture the monarchs from different parts of the world and see where that specific monarch was originally tagged by scanning its tag, and then they are able to keep a record of where the monarch ended up with the Monarch Watch website. With this data, it could help determine the pathways of the migrating monarch, like the influence of weather on the migration and the survival rate of monarchs. One of the people that does these activities happens to be a teacher at WTHS, Miss Rachel Michael.
I like participating in activities, number one, because I'm a huge nature person, and number two, just seeing the results. So I had one butterfly that I did tag in Cape May and release in Cape May, and 3 days later it was in Georgia. It was so cool to see that happen. Also, the people that I've met from all over the United States who are part of this, it's just interesting, meeting new people.
In central Mexico, millions of monarchs overwinter in less than 20 different sites and then gather in 20 to 30 million per large roost. The monarchs start to disperse in late February, early March. They mate and then they fly to the north, usually making it to Texas before laying their eggs on milkweed plants. This actually helps our environment. While the monarchs are feeding on nectar, they pollinate many types of wildflowers.
The excuse to get into nature is my biggest reason. During the months of September, October, November, so pretty much the fall, I spend every single night in Cape May. Looking for monarchs, tagging monarchs. Monarchs will roost in like the thousands in a pine tree at night, so you can go down at night and kind of get a flashlight and find, large masses of monarch butterflies. And I think that pretty much the excuse to get outside and go into nature. Anything that gets me in nature.
Monarch butterflies tell us a lot about our local environment by their presence or absence. But according to researchers, there has been an estimate of 970 million monarchs that have vanished since 1990. There are a number of threats to monarch butterflies, such as habitat loss, climate change, and agricultural pesticide use that is reducing milkweed populations. There are only 11 to 14 mountaintops in Mexico that monarchs can find a safe haven to hide in from the harsh winters, but those are being targeted for building roads and buildings.
I'm a huge nature lover, and when I was younger and I would spend time in Cape May, the butterflies that would come through in the fall for the migration season, there would be so many that sometimes they would black out the light like a cloud. It was almost like a plague of monarchs, and I noticed over the past couple years there hasn't been that many. So I wanted to get more involved with the conservation and research and data collection.
Monarch butterflies are beautiful creatures, and we should do everything in our power to protect them from harm. They do so much for us and our environment, so now it's time for us to give back to them by preserving areas where they can hibernate and take care of our environment. Tagging monarch butterflies is certainly a fun and interesting experience. If you are a fan of nature or just love monarch butterflies in general, you should definitely give raising and tagging monarch butterflies a shot.